Good morning, everybody. Welcome to 1 Million Cups Tulsa. You want to grab a seat? There's some great front row seats. We suggest they're very comfortable. If you haven't already on your way in, those of you coming in just now, make sure you grab a toothpick and something special in the back. So it's the show me, don't just tell me principle. So you'll know what we're talking about and believe in what we're talking about, not just see it. Welcome to 1 Million Cups. For those of you that have never been here before, my name is Tim Vickers. We've got a couple other guys in the room that help us run 1 Million Cups, Baron, Brad, and Dustin. You'll see them, most of them are wearing something entrepreneurial like a checkered shirt or something like that, cool glasses. 1 Million Cups is meeting in almost 40 cities across the nation now. Tulsa was the 20th city. We launched at the end of October last year, and we're almost 8 months strong now. Some people didn't think it would go that long, but it has, which is cool. Our format is very simple. We'll have two startups present today, and they present for 6 minutes. And it's more, rather than like an investor pitch, this is a conversation with the community. So they'll share what they're working on, share their passions, share some of their ideas, share their food and barbecue rubs in the back. And then we'll open it up for 20 minutes of question and answer with you guys. So you can ask pretty much anything. Just the goal is to have a heart of encouragement, moving them forward, helping them sort of accelerate their business, encourage them, maybe suggest ideas, that sort of thing. So it's very informal, even though we sort of have a structure. But just raise your hand on the questions and we'll get to you. And it'll be a good time. I'm excited to introduce you this morning to Jordan Wynn. He's the founder of Dead Rooster Co. They're out of Oklahoma City. He's a Tulsa native, but he's over in OKC. We're trying to get him back over in Tulsa here pretty soon. I'm going to make it happen. It's my personal mission to bring Jordan Wynn back to Tulsa. It will happen. Anyway, he has just launched this new company. It's called Dead Rooster Co. It is fabulous. They're using handcrafted ingredients for barbecue rubs, everything like coffee beans to special magic Tinkerbell potions for their meats. He's going to slap me for saying that. Anyway, if you would give a warm Tulsa welcome to Jordan Wynn with Dead Rooster Co.
My name is Jordan Wynn. I'm the founder of Dead Rooster Co. and I'm here to make you hungry. Like America, Dead Rooster's birthday was July 4th weekend. And we were out in the middle of Oklahoma countryside with nothing on the agenda but some ice cold beverages and miles of farmland going in every direction. And my man, Van Morrison, was the soundtrack that weekend. Look at that. Can't even say no to it. So we're out there. We've got the smoker going. We've got every grill fired up. Probably a half-mile radius. And we are, again, jamming out the Van Morrison, a little into the Mystic. And it's just one of those perfect weekends that doesn't happen very often. Leading up to that weekend, we had been experimenting with dry rubs just a little bit. And what dry rubs are spice blends that you pat down on meat and it locks in flavor, it locks in moisture. And just kind of think about how, or what it does is it basically kills two ideas. One is that you should be marinating meat all the time, which is terrible idea. And two is that incredible main courses are difficult to prepare. And dry rubs come in, kind of think about how coffee works at a place like this. More and more people are buying high quality coffee, bringing it home with good equipment and making it at home. But when it comes to bringing that same quality home to their food, a lot of people are still held up on it. And dry rubs step in and solve that hurdle for people. And it's so much simpler than making some of these incredible coffees at home. So anyways, back to that weekend. We were out there, and I remember after we were cooking, one of my buddy's uncles was kind of the go-to food saver for everybody out there for years. And we stepped in with our new stuff, and at the end of the weekend, he was a little upset because all the food he was known for, legendary for, was sitting into the corner, like into the counter. Nobody had touched it, and everything that we made was just devoured. I kind of felt bad for the guy, but I learned a long time ago just avoid upset uncles. we're driving back from that weekend, talking about how good the food was, and thinking if we get good enough at making these dry rubs, it's something other people would want to experience, and maybe something that we can turn into a business. So we started brainstorming names, and we come up with Dead Rooster Co. It was one of the only projects I've had that the first name was the one we went with. Doesn't happen very often. You guys might know that. So we just rolled with it. Now for the next about year and a half or so, I started something called Family Dinner at my house. It actually wasn't my family, but it was a group of my friends, and it's centered around good food, good drinks, good conversation with good people. So pretty much everything that you need out of life. And I used that group of people as my R&D department for about a year. And there was a lot of really tasty R&D going on there. And out of that, I came up with these 3 spice blends here that we use for dry rubs. Probably about 6 months ago, I read a book, and the main idea out of the book was to stop sitting on this year's ideas. Because when you get to next year, all the ideas that you have then, you have to put on hold because last year's ideas you're still catching up on. And I've been sitting on Dead Rooster for way too long, doing way too much research with it. And so I decided it's time to move on this thing. So I started working on branding, and what I went with was just high quality photography and really rough hand-drawn lettering. And I opened up an Instagram account. That was the main place that I did my marketing at. And we got about 1,000 followers in the first 2 weeks, and we've averaged 1,000 a month on there. So I was doing that. I was researching packaging costs and shipping costs. Sadly, I had to give the government more money instead of UPS and FedEx, so not happy about that. But I opened the store up after 1 month of online promotions, and I made 60 of each of these. So I had 180 total units, and I did a 7-day flash sale, just high pressure sales. And at the end of 7 days, I sold out all of them, and I even had to make one more batch at the end to cover the last few orders. After that, I left the country for 1 week. That's the info. But I did come back. I did come back and open the store back up. And I've been doing online orders since the last few weeks. Last week was when I really started focusing on retail. And I've been extremely busy with the marketing side of this, but last week I went into 3 retail locations in Oklahoma City. Sold 3 for free, so I was happy about that. But right now I'm wanting to move into a lot more places in Oklahoma City and a lot more places here in Tulsa. And only being in retail for 1 week, I've already had 2 refill orders for 3 out of 4. So they are selling pretty well. The reason why I do all this is because going back to those family dinner nights, I just saw what good food and what real community looked like, bringing people together and having that relationship growth that's centered around just good quality food that people want to keep coming back for. So when I started Dead Rooster, that's what I want people to create whenever they use the product. Is don't just try the food, but try it with friends and bring people together and have that relationship growth, which is a really cool thing that we can do with this product here. So thank you guys for coming out. And I think almost 6 minutes.
That's right.
Boom.
6 minutes perfect. Man, this begins our question section of the 1 million cups. So if you have a question, raise your hand, get my attention, or get Dustin's attention, and we'll come hand you the mic. First question.
Sounds like a great product. We've been working with Count Morris with Score clients similar to yours that's launched our barbecue program. These are more sauces. I was kind of interested in your production capacity. Are you making the products yourself, or do you have somebody make the recipe for you? And how about, because it's a specialty kind of product, in the wholesaler or going for the retail market, have you worked with the specialty ones, Whole Foods, those kind of specialty places? Our guys had real success there.
So I've had a couple friends come over and help me out on bigger orders, but everything else I'm doing by hand myself. I didn't want to, my focus on it was don't sink a ton of money into it going at, like starting out. The great thing about this is there's not a lot of overhead, so I want to do as much as possible myself, starting out, and then I'll look into bringing, I want to hire in more people. Now as far as how much production I can do, by myself, like I can knock out a case of these in about 25 minutes, which is 24. So it's about 1 per minute. So if I get an order in for 1,000, you know, I can knock that out. But I'm trying to grow steadily and bring people in slowly so that I don't, you know, grow too fast.
How about having somebody else make it for you too? You look into that?
That's what I'm trying to do right now, yeah. And then as far as wholesale stuff, I haven't gone to the Whole Foods and those places just yet. There's a couple other things I have to finalize. Right now I'm just going to the smaller, like local good shops to kind of get more, I guess, a grassroots thing instead of going all, I don't know what I'm looking for, all like corporate-y and like go for like a generic brand. I want to start out in the cool places and then move up from there. Backstory on the name was, I dove into that about as much as I possibly could in the presentation. I mean, there's really no backstory on it. We were just throwing out names, and it was, hey, what about Dead Rooster? It's like, okay, well, we use a product on those things, so why not? But there's not a whole incredible backstory on the name. I'll make one of those.
So 1,000 followers on Instagram in 2 weeks is quite an accomplishment. How did you do that? What were your tactics rolling into that?
Well, I didn't use all the apps that you can cheat with to get a bunch of 14-year-old girls to follow me. That's not my target market at all, and I don't even want to talk to them. But what we did,